Today, we're diving into a fascinating journey through Disney's magical universe and highlighting a character who often goes unnoticed but plays a much more significant role than it appears, Charlotte LaBeouf. Yes, you might be thinking, wait a minute, Charlotte? That rich and somewhat superficial friend of Tiana? Exactly. And it's precisely this Charlotte that we're going to delve into more deeply today. Although she isn't the main star in The Princess and the Frog, Charlotte has a depth that is often overlooked. Behind all the glamour, parties, and princess dresses, there is a loyal friend with a heart full of generosity, ready to make great sacrifices. Throughout this video, I'll show you how this character goes far beyond the surface and how she deserves her place among Disney's greats. So, get ready to discover a new perspective on Charlotte LaBeouf, who, even though she isn't the protagonist, shines in a unique way. From childhood, Charlotte and Tiana were inseparable, practically sisters at heart. Tiana's mother, a talented seamstress, made beautiful dresses for Charlotte, and these moments between the two families only strengthened their bond. While Tiana and Charlotte grew up in completely different worlds, their friendship transcended social class barriers. Imagine those two girls playing together, laughing and sharing dreams. Charlotte, with her cheerful and extravagant spirit, and Tiana, always determined and focused on her big goal. Even as time passed and their lives took different paths, this childhood connection remained strong. Charlotte was always grateful for everything she received from Tiana's mother. And in one way or another, this gratitude shaped how she always stood by her friend, supporting her when it mattered most. As the years went by, Charlotte kept alive her childhood dream, to marry a charming prince. From a young age, she was fascinated by fairy tales and believed she would one day live her own happy ending. When Prince Naveen arrived in town, her eyes sparkled with the possibility of turning that dream into reality. Without wasting any time, Charlotte threw an extravagant, glamorous party in hopes of winning the prince's heart. She was completely focused on her goal, believing this would be the moment she finally became a princess. However, what she didn't know was that her friend Tiana would also have an important connection with Naveen, which would change the course of the story. And this is where the true friendship between Charlotte and Tiana is put to the test. When Charlotte realizes that Tiana also has feelings for Naveen, what could have turned into a rivalry instead shows how genuinely generous and loyal Charlotte really is. Instead of competing or feeling envious, Charlotte makes a surprising decision. She chooses to give up her dream of marrying the prince so that Tiana can be happy. And of course, this isn't something small. For someone who has always idealized this fairy tale life, giving it all up shows an impressive greatness of character. This moment reveals a Charlotte who goes beyond appearances and stereotypes, demonstrating how much she values her friendship with Tiana above any personal ambition. Then comes the pivotal moment. Tiana asks Charlotte to kiss the frog, who is actually Prince Naveen under a curse, to break the spell and help him return to his human form. And without hesitation, Charlotte agrees. She could have seen this opportunity as a chance to finally win the prince of her dreams, but no. What she does is even more admirable. She chooses to help her friend, even knowing that it means giving up the chance to marry Naveen. This gesture reveals Charlotte's generous heart, showing that for her, Tiana's happiness is more important than any princess fantasy she might have had. After the courageous act of kissing the frog, Charlotte's true character shines even more. Despite all her wealth, her dream of being a princess, and the glamour surrounding her, she shows that friendship and loyalty mean much more to her than any crown. What's most impressive is that Charlotte shows no regret or bitterness for not getting her fairy tale ending. On the contrary, she celebrates Tiana's happiness, demonstrating that her generosity and kindness go far beyond the first impressions many have of her. At this moment, the image of the rich, spoiled girl is set aside, revealing a Charlotte who is much more complex and nuanced than she seems. And this is where the true depth of Charlotte and Tiana's relationship becomes clear. Often, Charlotte is viewed critically as someone superficial, only concerned with her own luxury life. But her act of sacrificing what she has always wanted to ensure Tiana's happiness shows how simplistic that view is. Even when many believe Charlotte should have helped financially with Tiana's restaurant, there's something more subtle happening. Tiana has always been proud of achieving her goals on her own merit, and Charlotte, respecting that, never forced her help. Instead, she found ways to support her friend without interfering with the dreams Tiana was building through her hard work. And this is where we reach the climax of this unique friendship. Charlotte, despite all her wealth and princess dreams, has always been by Tiana's side, finding subtle ways to help. One of these gestures was buying Tiana's famous tostadas for her party, a detail that many forget but which helped Tiana reach the amount needed to fulfill her dream of opening the restaurant. This action might seem small, but it reveals how committed Charlotte was to seeing her friend succeed, even without drawing attention to herself. She respected Tiana's pride and struggle, showing that, although their lives were very different, their friendship transcended any barrier. In the end, we realize that Charlotte, far from being just a caricature, is a character with deep generosity and a friendship that surpasses any fairy tale dream.